You don't believe in the paranormal. You never have. But tonight, you're going to check the time, and it's going to say 3:33. And somewhere in the back of your mind, something ancient and cold is going to whisper. It knows you're awake. Level 1, the first night. It starts with insomnia. Nothing dramatic, nothing supernatural. You've been stressed. Work, money, a relationship that ended badly 3 months ago. You lie in bed staring at the ceiling of your apartment on Marlowe Street. Second floor, window faces the alley. You check your phone. 3:33 a.m. You think nothing of it. You roll over. You try to sleep, but there's a sound. Not loud, not a crash, not a scream. Just a soft, rhythmic tapping. 3 taps, a pause. 3 taps, a pause. You sit up. The room is dark, the kind of dark that feels thick. You look toward the window. The curtain is still. The tapping stops. You tell yourself it was a pipe, an old building, normal sounds. You fall asleep at 4:15. You forget about it by morning. 3 nights later, you wake up again. No alarm, no sound. You just open your eyes. You already know what the time is before you look. 3:33 a.m. Your stomach tightens. You lie completely still, and then you hear it. Not tapping this time. Breathing. Slow, measured, just outside your window. Second floor. There's no balcony, no ledge, no fire escape on that side. You get up. Your legs don't want to carry you, but they do. You reach the curtain. You pull it back. Nothing. Just the alley. Just the orange smear of a distant streetlight. Just a dumpster and wet concrete. But the glass is fogged from the outside. Something was pressed against it. You don't sleep again that night. You tell your coworker Maya about it on Tuesday. You keep it casual. You laugh a little when you say it. She doesn't laugh. She gets quiet in a way that makes you uncomfortable. She tells you that her cousin experienced something similar, waking at the same time every night, sounds outside windows, that cold feeling of being observed. You ask what happened to her cousin. Maya picks up her coffee, takes a long sip. She says he moved away. You wait for more. She doesn't give you more. That night, you set a camera up facing the window. A cheap Ring doorbell camera, angled inward, motion activated. You go to sleep at midnight. You wake at 3:33. You don't even check the time anymore. Your body just knows. The room feels different tonight. Smaller, closer, like the walls are 2 inches nearer than they should be. You check the camera feed in the morning. Motion was detected at 3:33 a.m., but the footage is corrupted. A single frame before it cuts to static, and in that frame, just barely visible, there is a shape at the window, tall, still, looking in. You don't go to work that day. You sit at your kitchen table with 3 browser tabs open and a coffee you haven't touched. You search, waking at 3:33 a.m. every night. Thousands of results. Some are ridiculous. Spiritual forums, angel numbers, people talking about divine timing and gratitude journals. You scroll past all of that, but then you find something different. A thread on a forum that hasn't been updated since 2019. A user named VeilWatcher88 describes it exactly. The time, the breathing, the fogged glass, and then something you haven't experienced yet. A shadow that doesn't move when the light changes. You read the whole thread. 47 replies from different users across different countries, different cities, different years, all describing the same progression, all stopping their posts at different stages. One user, username Dormhouse, posted every day for 3 weeks, detailed logs, times, sounds, descriptions, and then a final post. It just says, "It's inside now." After that, nothing. Account abandoned. No activity for 6 years. You close the laptop.
You sit in silence for a long time. Then you open it again and read the whole thread twice more.
You see it for the first time on a Friday. You've pushed your bed against the far wall. You started sleeping with the lights on, but at 3:33, the lights flicker. 1 second, maybe 2, and in that second of darkness, you see it, standing in the corner of the room, tall, no features, no eyes, just form, a shape that exists between the darkness and whatever is darker than darkness. The lights come back. The corner is empty, but you felt something in that moment that you've never felt before. Not fear exactly, recognition. Like some part of your brain, old, primal, buried under years of logic and routine, recognized what was standing there and knew it had been there before. You start to notice other things, small things. Your plants are dying faster than they should. The milk goes bad 2 days early. Your dog, when you bring him from your mother's house to stay with you, refuses to enter the bedroom. He sits at the doorway and trembles. He whines until you come out. He never stops watching the corner. At 3:33 on a Wednesday, you hear your name. Not shouted, not whispered, spoken, clearly, precisely, from the corner. You know the voice. You've known it your whole life. It is your father's voice. Your father has been dead for 4 years. You stand in the hallway outside your bedroom door for 20 minutes. You don't go in. You call your mother at 4 a.m. She answers immediately, like she was already awake. You ask her if she's been having strange nights. There is a long pause. She says, "How long has it been following you?" You feel the floor shift beneath you. You ask her what she means. She tells you that your grandmother experienced the same thing, that it began the same way, that it followed her for the last 11 years of her life. She tells you your grandmother called it the Watcher. She says, "It never hurts you, it just watches." You ask, "Then why are you afraid of it?" Another pause. She says, "Because watching is how it learns." You stop sleeping in the bedroom. You move to the couch. But at 3:33 a.m., you wake up in the bedroom every time. You don't remember walking there. You are always standing in the center of the room, always facing the corner. You set up 4 cameras, audio recorders, a motion sensor alarm. None of it triggers, but every morning the audio recorder has one anomaly. At exactly 3:33, there is a sound. You run it through an audio editor. You slow it down. You filter the frequencies. It is not white noise. It is not static. It is a voice speaking in a language you don't recognize. The same phrase every night. You send the audio to a linguistics professor at a university 3 states away. You don't explain why. He responds in 2 days. He says the language is consistent with a Proto-Semitic dialect that predates written record. He says the phrase is difficult to translate with certainty, but the closest interpretation is, "I remember you from before you were born." You read that email 4 times, then you delete it. Then you go and sit on the bathroom floor with the lights on and your dog pressed against your leg. And you realize the dog is no longer looking at the bedroom door. He's looking at you. You don't know when it began communicating differently, but at some point, somewhere between level 6 and now, the visits changed. They became less like observation and more like conversation. You don't hear words in your ears, you hear them in the space behind your thoughts. Quiet, patient, always at 3:33. It shows you things, not visions exactly, more like memories that don't belong to you. Faces you've never seen, places you've never been, a coastline, a burning field, a doorway of black stone, and a feeling that accompanies every image, that you have been chosen, not randomly, deliberately, across generations. It explains, without explaining, that it has been watching your bloodline for centuries, that it collects something from the people it watches, not blood, not life, experience. It feeds on the texture of living human consciousness, and in return, because it has been watching you long enough, it offers something, knowledge, the things it has witnessed across hundreds of lifetimes, patterns, insights, moments from the past. You start to know things you shouldn't know. You know what your coworker is going to say before she says it. You know when your phone is about to ring. You know the exact moment a person near you is about to cry. You tell yourself it's intuition, but intuition doesn't tell you the date
A stranger is going to die.
People start to feel it. They don't know what they feel, but they feel something. Your mother stops calling. Maya stops sitting near you at lunch. Your dog went back to your mother's house 3 weeks ago and won't come near you now. You look different. You can see it in photos from 6 months ago versus now. Not older exactly, quieter. Like something behind your eyes has been rearranged. You've stopped going out after dark. Not because you're afraid of the dark, because at night you can see things in it. Shapes that move between streetlights, things that look almost like people but aren't standing quite right. And they see you too, and they recognize you, because you carry the mark of the Watcher, and whatever else is out there in the dark, the things that are not the Watcher, they give you space. At first, that feels like protection. Then you realize the truth. They don't avoid you out of respect. They avoid you because you belong to something else. You are claimed. On the last night, you wake at 3:33. You are standing in the bathroom. You don't remember getting up. The light above the mirror is on. You are staring at your reflection, but your reflection is not moving the way you are moving. It is standing still, watching you. And then it smiles, and you realize in a single, terrible, lucid moment that what is standing in the mirror is not you anymore. It is something wearing the architecture of your face, something that has been slowly, patiently, over months and months of nightly visits, learning every micro-expression, every habit, every memory. You think about Dormouse from the forum, the final post. It's inside now. You understand now that wasn't a warning about the house. It was a warning about the self. You open your mouth to scream. The reflection opens its mouth first, and what comes out is your voice, perfectly, exactly, every inflection right. And somewhere deep in the part of you that is still you, the part that is getting smaller every night, you understand the final truth. It was never watching you to frighten you. It was watching you to become you. And at 3:33 a.m., in a second-floor apartment on Marlowe Street, in front of a bathroom mirror with the light buzzing overhead, the watching ends, and something else opens its eyes, looks at its hands, and smiles.